Aga me surround the mercy ninye kekele. Aga me surround the mercy na jagima.
You're not going to believe this, but a Nigerian university, one of the first private ones in the country, was literally built on palm kernels and cassava. Yes, the whole thing started with a widow, a rusty metal box, and a dream her son couldn't let die. This is the story of how Father Emmanuel Edeh turned his mother's life savings into a moral and educational revolution in Nigeria. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful stories you've probably never heard. Let's rewind a bit. Father Emmanuel Edeh, who was born in 1947 in a small town called Abugo in Enugu State, Nigeria, wouldn't have described his life as a history-making one. His mother, Mama Elizabeth, was just a hard-working village woman. No big titles, no government connections. She sowed palm kernels, harvested cassava, month after month, year after year. And here's the part that gets me. Every single time she made a little profit, she gave it to her son to save her for the future. But she didn't know what she was actually investing in was a future far bigger than hers. By the time she passed away in 1996, she had saved up to 360,000 naira. Now that might not sound like much today, but in the 1990s Nigeria, that was a fortune, especially for someone who had never left her village. That money was love in its purest form, scraped together with blistered hands and unshakable faith. Her son, Father Edeh, had already begun carving his own path. He studied divinity in Nigeria, then went abroad to DePaul University in Chicago. He earned multiple degrees, including a PhD in philosophy, and even got certified in clinical pastoral care. He could have stayed in the US comfortably, but no, he came back home. He saw something that broke his heart. Nigeria's education system was collapsing. Poor infrastructure, strikes, moral decay, and worse, there were no private universities. None at all. If the public system failed you, that was it. But Father Edeh believed something different. He believed education wasn't just about academics. It was about shaping the soul, forming people with values, not just diplomas. So, fueled by his mother's legacy, he started small. First, he set up schools, then Polytechnic, Osisatec, in Enugu. He poured everything he had into those institutions. But deep down, he had a bigger dream. He wanted to build a full university, Catholic, independent, morally grounded. The problem? Private universities weren't allowed at all. So from 1993 to 1999, he went on a 6-year marathon, fighting through layers of bureaucracy, military governments, legal barriers, and cold stares. Imagine trying to explain to generals and ministers why Nigeria needed a moral university when corruption was the national anthem. But Father Edeh kept showing up. Quiet, persistent, unshakable. And then, finally, in April 1999, the government gave the green light. Just 1 month later, on May 22nd, Madonna University was born in Okija, Anambra State, Nigeria. The first private university in the country. The first Catholic university in the whole of West Africa. And all of it, every building, every chalkboard, every prayer chapel was standing on the foundation for widows 360,000 naira. But this wasn't going to be your average university. Father Edeh made sure of that. He enforced a 100% residency policy. Students had to live on campus. There was no room for distractions. The goal? Not just to produce graduates, but to form disciplined, focused, morally upright young people. He used to say that students who entered as virgins should graduate as virgins. Some people laughed. Others rolled their eyes. But for him, this was serious. This was education as formation, not just information. You know what? It worked. Madonna became the first private university in Nigeria to produce fully licensed doctors, pharmacists, and lawyers. They didn't just send students to Nigerian law school, they led them there. Meanwhile, Father Edeh didn't stop. He opened more campuses, Elele in River State, and later Apugo, back in his hometown in Enugu State, Nigeria. He even built a teaching hospital, not with foreign grants, not with government loans, but with reinvested funds from the schools, community donations, and even student work-study programs. Students ran the radio station, operated plants, even helped with campus maintenance. It wasn't easy, but it was theirs. And it didn't end with academics. Father Edeh also founded the Center for Peace, Justice and Reconciliation. Over the years, the center has helped settle over 6 million disputes for free. Land issues, family conflicts, legal messes, all resolved with dialogue and prayer. He also started the Madonna International Charity Peace Award to celebrate grassroots peacemakers. Because to him, peace wasn't just a concept, it was the heart of the gospel. Father Edeh's work now spans schools, hospitals, orphanages, and religious communities. But Madonna University, that remains a crown jewel. Not because it's flashy or famous, but because it was built the right way, brick by brick, sacrifice by sacrifice, beginning with the quiet, holy work of a mother who believed in her son. So the next time someone tells you you need millions or political power to make a difference, tell them about Mama Elizabeth. Tell them about Father Edeh, and tell them about the university that rose from next to nothing.